You see the scuppers on the side of the house? They don't go out far enough, and at least one of them goes onto the patio. So I've taken this piece of sheet metal and I'm going to extend the scupper out. Stay tuned for the finished product. I used my trusty anvil and hammer to flatten out the piece a little bit. So now what we have is a basically flat rectangular piece. And on to the next step. Now that I've got the piece of sheet metal bent up into the shape that I want it, I did it on this bench vise with this hammer here. I'm going to paint it to match the color of the scuppers. This piece of sheet metal, by the way, was trash that was going to be thrown out, and I brought it home to save it for a project. And this paint was something I bought years ago to use for something, and I never did. So with that, I'm going to start painting. I have the scupper set up now, and you can still see the screws. So I'm going to take the paint and I'm going to touch it up just a little bit. And there's the scupper now that I've painted the little screws. This is not the same color as the main body of the house, which the existing scupper is. I wonder if I should just have painted it the color of the house. Maybe I will. In order to finish out this project, I will take this hollowed out log and I will cut it with the chainsaw, but first I need to sharpen the chainsaw with these chainsaw sharpening files. When you're sharpening a chainsaw blade, you use this round file and you go along the teeth of the blade, and there's a little hash mark there, and you line that file up with the hash mark and you push forward. That's the way it cuts. And then if you push forward, it'll cut, but you don't want to pull backwards because the file is designed to cut one way. If you pull it back, you'll ruin your file and it won't last you as long. Back over to the log now, and I'm gonna put the chainsaw to it and see if sharpening that blade did anything for it. The log is now cut in half, and I have it in place here to catch the rainwater coming off of our new scupper. And as you can see, I put a piece of plastic in there because there's some holes in the bottom of the log and I don't want it to drip out behind. I want it to come forward, and I used some painter's drop cloth that I had laying around. Getting pretty close with the little trench to the 4-inch pipe. I'm digging it by hand with that pick. And as you can see, that dirt is white. That's called caliche. It's not as hard to hear as it is in other spots. And this is a finished path, and that's the reason why I didn't bring the tractor in here to dig all this. And it's getting warm out here, but I am almost done. Temperature right now is 96 degrees. I'm all done digging now. Well, I'd like to see if it's going downhill in the right direction. And it looks like it is. So now I can fill it back in and get this project done. We'll see now if it works. There's a little bit of a breeze and it's kicking it off to the right just a little bit. Well, there it is. Dripping right where it's supposed to. Drizzling down through the pipe. And I just need to open that up a little bit. And here we are with the finished product. There's one drainage sluice, and there's the other drainage sluice, and the pathway is all covered back up. The rake didn't wet it down. You can't really tell where I put the pipe at, but there it is. Covered everything up. It's all done. Another Sunday fun day.